Hi guys, it's Bob, and we're the No Agenda team, and we've got John and Josh this time.
Yeah.
I think I got the mic on this time, I think, guys, so I think we'll be okay. Hey, we had the last one all done, except we had no sound, so that's all we had to do, just, you and me. So, anyway, we're going to be here reviewing the second to the last pack, I believe, of the Lunar Cycle. All that remains.
Thank you, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's second to last one.
Okay.
Yep. So, so it's this cool looking data pack with your favorite card, probably Merlin.
Merlin, it's a good card.
Merlin coming out. So, anyway, we got to play this a little bit this weekend. At our tournament, I think we splashed a few cards here and there. So, have a little bit of experience, but we'll start the pack off, I guess, with John.
Sure. So the first corporation card is Bifrost Array. It's a 3/1. And it's an initiative. I don't think that matters at this point. But its ability is when you score Bifrost Array, you may trigger the when scored ability of another agenda that is not a copy of Bifrost Array in your score area. So that's fun. It'll re-trigger Efficiency Committee,
Beta test.
if you really wanted to. That'd be
Priority
great.
Rec.
Priority Rec.
All sorts of fun stuff.
Whole ton. I mean, there's probably like
Project
8, I think.
Luton.
Yeah, I think the Kronos Protocol
Sure.
will do that. I mean, the thing is, I was thinking, oh, you could trigger this and this and this, but it's like, no, those are out of faction, so you have to be in an HP deck, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Efficiency Committee is just, when you score this, put 3 tokens on it, right?
Yeah. So
you don't even have to have spent the token.
Yeah.
You could have 6 on them.
But you can't like use it against Project Ares because Project Ares says how many cards are on Project Ares or how many overscored counters are on Project Ares. Well, when you score this again, there's going to be no counters on Project Ares.
Gotcha.
So it won't trigger Project Ares or something like nasty like that. So, I mean, the things that have built in without overscoring or something like that. But thank God this cannot be used
Oh, it'd be fun.
out of faction.
And the end, yeah.
It'd be great in NBN.
I'm gonna Astro.
Beal,
You'd Astro. That'd be awful.
6 Astros.
Yeah. That'd be awful.
Thank goodness it's HB.
You wouldn't have to do anything, but after you scored the first Astro, just protect R&D because hey, look, you're an agenda. That'd be brutal.
Yep.
It's a fun agenda.
I think it's going to see some play. I mean, I can see in certain decks. So, I mean, priority rec. I mean, you could play 3 priority recs and just res 6 pieces of ice,
That wouldn't be a bad plan.
It'll be more fun.
or even 4 if you
agendas
just
come out.
run 1, right?
Yeah.
You run 1 just so you can score it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are any of the shards when scored?
No. They all just do something.
They all do something after they're
Yeah.
scored. Yeah.
They just have a passive effect or whatever.
Hey guys, so this weekend I actually scored a corporate retreat. Is that I actually scored that. I was pretty impressed.
A little weird play.
People like that, like, what does that do? I'm like, yeah, you gotta put it
That's like when Larry plays Cortez chip and you have to wait. What does that do again? Very strange.
Anyway,
All right.
all right, Josh, your
The
turn.
next one. Okay. HB Ice, Sagittarius. It's a Sentry. 5 to res, 4 strength. 1 subroutine, and it says trace 2 if successful, trash 1 program. If your trace strength is 5 or greater, trash 1 program. Another great tracing ice into the theme.
I love these
They're a lot of fun.
Constellation Ice. I think every one of them is really fun to play with. And Taurus, when I first read it, it's like, it's not that big a deal, but all you got to do is get to trace 5. If they can't break a trace 5, you trash 2 pieces of ice.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's great. I played it in my NBN trace deck. I just didn't have any in the run ice, so Larry almost beat me without installing an icebreaker just because I had no in the run ice. It's bad.
I keep on wanting to put marker in a deck, just to put it in the deck, just so you have an end to run after every.
Yeah.
I mean, just to have it, just see how it would do. I don't know if you've tried anything like that, but I mean, it's 0 to res, right?
Yeah.
It's a 0 cost code gate, but it puts end to run at every piece of ice. So if people are not, like you said, running with icebreakers, you're done.
That would be helpful. But you could also just run it and run ice.
Yeah.
Which I need to put more in there, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah. It was. I love them. I think constellations are great. Everyone
Yeah,
of
they're
them
a
are
lot
good.
of fun.
All right. Oh, I got the fun card. So I've got a 5 cost to res asset called Hostile Infrastructure, and it's a Jinteki. It's 2 influence, and it says whenever the runner trashes a corp card, including Hostile Infrastructure, do 1 net damage. This card will see a lot of play. I mean, this is going to see so much play in RP and NEH, and I mean, just splash into NEH and then put it into Jintekis. This makes Jinteki just super scary.
The 5 trash is great too.
Well, it's also 5 to res, so you get your money back. But
yeah,
it works against all sorts of interesting things. Demo run, kill them.
Parasite.
Doesn't work against Parasite because
Trash and Ice.
Yep, doesn't work against Noise. There's certain cards it doesn't work against because they say that the core trashes the card, but for the most part, a lot of them say you trash a card like Keyhole.
That would be really fun with Keyhole, yeah.
Yeah, you have a Keyhole deck. Great. I'll put
You're
those
going to come
chances.
over and kill that first and then go back to Keyhole.
If you can kill it.
Well, I would hope you could kill it.
I think this makes the executives even funner to potentially play. Just because you have a little bit more protection. They're hard to trash anyway. And if they do get trashed, you're going to give them some damage. I just think it gives you another protection for the big execs.
Yeah, something to
I
think
think I'd
about.
take the 1 net damage and the 2 agenda points.
Yeah.
Over, what's his name, the Chairman Hero.
Yeah. But you got to trash this first, you know. It just I think it's going to see a lot of play, though. I think you're going to see a lot of splashing of this card, potentially. So, it's yours, John.
Alright, next up we have a Jinteki Ice, Gemini. 3 res, 5 strength. It's a Sentry, a Tracer, and AP. It has Trace 2. If successful, do 1 net damage. If your Trace strength is 5 or greater, do 1 net damage. So it's just like the other one, only now we're hitting people for net damage. It's not bad. I mean, Jinteki usually doesn't have the extra money all the time to bump it up. I mean, it's 2 influence, so you could splash it into making news, and then it just becomes really, really annoying as you end up paying a credit to turn and your 2 freebies to deal damage.
Oh, yeah, it makes it annoying. They have to break it. It's 5 strength Sentry. I mean, 5 strength Sentries are pretty
3 costs, that's
pretty
not bad.
good. I mean, I would take that all day long.
It's annoying for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, I'm sure did you splash that in your MBN yet?
No, I like the hardware and the program damage more.
Taurus and Sagittarius for sure.
Anything to slow them in from getting through the weak ice.
But I think you could see a whole constellation deck where you have all the,
You get expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only have 7 out of faction ones, so.
Yeah, is there
they're
MBM?
2
MBM doesn't have one yet, do they?
No.
That I can remember.
Not yet.
Nope.
Yep. Okay.
That's fun.
Oh, and again, the art's amazing on that card. I'd love to see a playmat with that. I think it would look so cool.
Yeah. It is pretty.
I'd like to see all the constellations actually on the playmat. I think that'd be really, really awesome.
I don't
With
know if
the moon on the bottom and then all the constellations set up.
Well, they'd have to make 9 more.
Well, I don't care. I don't
know what all 9 of them are going to do, but.
I don't care, John. I'm just saying I think it would be really cool. All
Alright, next one. It's Agenda, NVN, License Acquisition. It's a 3-1. And it says, when you score license acquisition, install and res an asset or upgrade from archives or HQ, ignoring all costs. It's probably the first 3-1 that I've seen that actually makes me reconsider having breaking news in an NVN deck. It's pretty good. Getting a free San or anything like that if you're playing NEH.
Sure.
Install and res.
Yeah, install
I
and
mean,
res.
that's like as good as you get, man.
I killed your Sansan. It's coming back.
Or if you need economy. I mean,
like
anything. I mean, it's so great. I mean, hey, Resident Eve out of this.
Sure.
If you're splashing Eve in there.
That'd be fun little ways to do things.
I mean, there's a whole. I mean, I can see it. Well, and then NEH, right? So normally when you score in your scoring window for NEH, that's one time you can't set up a server. Typically, I'm not saying every time, but typically that's the one time you don't set up a server. When you score this,
you get to set.
Hey, you get to set up a score and draw another card.
Sure.
So
having several Sansans out, that'd be fun.
Yeah. See if they want to waste the money or not.
Yep. Okay. Well, then I got the next one, which is a 2-cost asset. It's a cast. It's called the Daily Business Show. It says, it's NBN. It's 1 influence. The first time you draw a card each turn, draw one additional card. Add one of the drawn cards to the bottom of R&D. If NEH is scary now, this makes them even more scary. I mean, hey, you gotta. It's Mr. Lee for the Corp.
Yeah, but which is just much better.
At least it's only the first time. I mean, it's not every
sure.
card. I mean, it's at least the first time, which is usually on your mandatory, right?
Look at your mandatory draw, yeah.
Yep.
So I guess if you just getting caught, drawing extra cards. But yeah, I mean, being able to put agendas on the bottom if you're in a bad position, or putting agendas into your hand if you're in a good position.
Yeah.
It's brutal, and it's basically here you get to come trash this for 4 credits because
Yeah.
it's the daily business show and you have to.
And I think out of faction, I think like you said, it's where you don't have the cards you want right now, so you just stuff them to the bottom.
Yeah, it just makes NEH scarier. Not that it needs to be scarier.
Well, isn't there a card that's coming out for Anarchs that lets you go to the bottom of R&D?
There is
Yeah.
one that'll let you look
Showing
at the bottom.
off or something? I think it's called
Something
Showing
like that,
Off.
Yeah, which will have a lot of fun things. Be able to medium up and then medium down.
Yep.
But
Yep. I mean, it's good. It's a solid card. I mean,
good
you'll
card.
see a lot of play in faction and out of faction.
Yeah, Nick
with
was
one
running
influence.
It was good.
Did you run it?
Nick was running it. It was
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it's scary.
Okay.
All right, I get Superior Cyber Walls, a 3/1 for good old Wayland agenda security, and it has all barrier ice have +1 strength, and when you score Superior Cyber Walls, gain 1 credit for each res barrier. So it's just like the Jinteki 1 barriers, and of course, Wayland plays lots and lots of barriers.
Flavor text is great.
Our new barriers will be built on the rubble of our enemies. Yeah, that sounds about right. You notice it looks like the Wall of China too,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but
Yep. Yep. Great Wall. That's
Yeah.
really cool looking.
I don't know. I think there's too many good 3/1s already. I mean, you have Posted Bounty that you can install advance, and then kill them next turn.
Vulcan.
Vulcan, which also can help with the advance and kill people. I don't know. Barriers are fine. I mean, you're basically saying that all your barriers are going to cost you 1 extra credit to break because most people have Corroder. I guess it can ruin Black Cat a little bit.
Yeah, I keep on thinking, is there going to be a deck where, like, you put lag time, you put this type of agenda, you put, or whatever, this type of agenda or the Jinteki one, and you put lag time and all that fun stuff, and you basically build, because all the decks are set up as mathematical equations, right?
Sure.
And so by changing that mathematical equation, do you break some of the runner's math?
Maybe with I think barriers are the weakest of it because of Corroder. I mean, Corroder is your general barrier breaker. It hurts more on code gates because now you're paying an extra data sucker token to break with Yogg. The Sentry one may be very, very good because you would put things out of range of that first
Like
bump.
7?
Well, no, just 6 would be the number you want. The first bump from Ninja or Cloak.
No, that's what I'm thinking, or
yeah,
Dagger or
yeah.
Switchblade.
Making sense. Well,
Yeah.
Switchblade. Yeah, I guess if you had 7
Yeah.
7 strength sentries, I don't think there's a lot of those. I guess you could
I'd
score
like to
enough.
see one, though.
You could score
A
enough to
couple
make
of them,
Switchblade hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. I wonder who will get the Sentry, NBN or Haas? Probably Haas.
You think?
Yeah.
I think NBN needs one because they have flair. They have some nasty sentries. They have.
It helped a lot.
I mean, it would help a lot just to have that
yeah.
nasty sentry.
We'll learn all the brain damage ones sentries, except no Heimdall's a barrier. But Janus is a sentry, and Victor.
Yeah, Victor is a.
Or no.
No, he's a
Victor,
Kogate. He's
yeah,
a Kogate.
Ichi's the sentry, isn't it?
Ichi's a sentry.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think I think there are too many good Wayland 1-point agendas already for that to really have an impact. Unless it's a special deck.
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't put transaction on here. If they put transaction on here, I think then it becomes interesting because would you be playing a transaction or
I
would
don't
that
think
cause
so.
more?
I don't think
I know it's not an operation, but it would be interesting if they would have put transaction. It would have been considered a transaction for Wayland.
Wayland just wants everything to be a transaction.
I understand that. That's why I said it.
What did you do? We built a wall. It was a transaction between builders and us. I don't know.
All right, Josh.
Okay, next card is a Wayland asset. 0 to cost. It's Executive Boot Camp, 3 to trash, and it says, when your turn begins, you may res a card, lowering the res cost by 1 credit. 1 credit trash. Search R&D for an asset, reveal it, add it to HQ. Shuffle R&D. It helps, mainly it's probably more useful for grabbing stuff, other than the credit reduction.
Go get your root. Go get your off the grid. Go get
Sand.
sand. I mean, you know,
Right.
I mean, anything
Snare.
you want. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's.
No,
What?
even better. So it doesn't have a click to do it. So they run your hand. You're like, hold on. Boot camp. Go get snare. Go get snare.
Now you want to run? You want to access now? Does it say reveal? Oh yeah. You have to
Well,
reveal it.
sure, but that's okay. It's like it's a snare.
I thought about getting traps too, but it's like
Makes
not put it in your hand, but
Hey, it's a way to res Tyrant and Woodcutter. So you can start putting advancement counters on them.
ooh,
Yeah.
no, it says asset.
No, it says when your turn begins, you may res a card, lowering the res
First
counter.
Oh,
by the
you're
first card.
you're
Yeah.
talking okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that about the res. It says you can res something, which is cool. They don't have to run it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really help Blue Sun because it's only a credit, but
Hey, Blue Sun.
I mean, I guess if they have.
If I would have known how to run it and really use it efficiently, it was working pretty well. I made couple of timing errors, and it will eat your lunch too. It's a little bit of moving parts, so you got to know where to put stuff.
Sure.
So-
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
All right, cool. My turn.
Your turn.
All right, so I have the Century Destroyer morph. It's called the Lycan. It's a 6-cost, 3 strength Century Whalen. It says Lycan can be advanced. While Lycan has a odd number of advancement tokens on it, it gains Code Gate and loses Century. 1 subroutine, trash 1 program. Yeah, that's okay. It's expensive.
It's very
It's
expensive.
expensive for a low strength.
No end run.
And well, I mean, still trash program's pretty good.
But what's Taurus is a trace, right? And it's a 5, right?
Taurus is 5 for 5, yeah. So I mean,
6 for 3.
I mean, it's cool that you can make it Sentry or Code Gate, but
Yeah. You might be able to
expensive.
catch them if you advance it once and they have a sentry out. Get them to run it as a code gate and get to trash a program as a code gate.
sure. Well, and it does, I guess, give you some. You can hide a little bit. Like, oh, it's just an ice wall. I got a barrier breaker. I'm good. Well, no, you can't. Now that you have all these little morphers, and trashing a program always hurts.
Always.
Always hurts. Or you can always put Wendigo in front of it so that they can't use the program to break Lycan. And switch it on. Yeah.
And then you're in trash program no matter what.
It's some silly games, but I think they need either a free way to advance ice or something before it really becomes viable. Otherwise, you're paying a credit and a click to do some not super effective shenanigans. I mean,
Not guaranteed.
yeah, I could res this for 6, or I could pay 1 more and just have Hadrian's and make you pay 7 every turn to break it. So.
Yeah. I mean that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, but by trashing the program though, right? I mean,
Oh,
you
sure,
can
that
change
hurts,
the the type and stuff. Like you said, if they don't have their code gate out,
Right.
you basically stop them from running. Period.
Dies to Ottman. I mean, Ottman's gonna break it no matter what. But I don't know. I just think
Well, even Mimic will go through.
Mimic will half the time it'll go through it. The other half the time, Yawd will go through it. So it's 3 strength is in the wrong place to be.
I think for 6, I would like to see that at least 5. At least 5.
Well, it is a sentry that trashes programs, and Wayland is not good at trashing, or is not good at sentries, at least. So maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's why it's.
It's not a barrier. If it was a barrier, it'd have more strength. Maybe
Alright.
eventually we'll get one where if you advance it once, it's this. If you advance it twice, it's this. If you advance it 3 times, it goes back. No.
Yeah.
Is this one mine?
It's yours.
Alright. If I got the neutral event, 0 cost, snatch and grab. It's a gray op. And it's trace 3. If successful, trash 1 connection. The runner can take 1 tag to prevent this. This will kill Katie Jones, Mr. Lee, personal contacts.
If they're playing them.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
most people play those.
I mean, Mike was complaining that he splashed it in during his deck this weekend, and he said he goes, I put it in there to kill Katie. Didn't happen once.
Yeah, I don't have Katie in mind. This weekend, but yeah, it's cool. It's very scary. I mean,
That's a wonderful choice.
you're gonna lose it or you're gonna get tagged.
And then lose
You
it.
So
wanna
then
be
I'm gonna
tagged?
lose it anyway.
No, okay, you're gonna lose it. I mean, even if you don't have Scorcher, if you could just move 2 cards higher up and be like, you can take the tag. No, okay. And then act disappointed.
Yeah, so I pay 0 and a trace 3. Yeah.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's definitely a taxing event for a runner. It doesn't matter.
sure. Yeah, I like it. It'll be fun. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's can put it in Tracy NBN.
Oh, Tracy NBN, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next it's Neutral Ice, Merlin.
I'm glad you got this card. I guess I gotta say,
6 cost, 4 strength, and it is 1 influence. And it says when the runner encounters Merlin, you may reveal up to 2 Grail Ice from HQ. For the remainder of this run, Merlin gains the subroutines of the revealed ice in the order of your choice, and the one subroutine on it is do 2 net damage. It fits right into the Grail system when we have Excalibur left, and that's it.
What's Excalibur end run?
No, the runner can't make any more runs, but it doesn't have a type. It's mythic, right?
I think so, yeah.
So it's not
So
even
you-
Grail?
So no, I mean it's a
Grail,
grail,
okay.
but if you play it, you can't break it without
Gotcha.
something else, which I guess could make
Or AI or something.
right,
Yeah.
with the good stuff. But yeah, if it really is just mythic, that'll be one scary piece of ice.
Yeah, you'll never know what routines it has.
Huh?
You'll never, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think and I don't know if I want to wait for Excalibur before making Grail Ice Foundry, but that'd still be really nice.
Oh,
Or
it'd be
even
fun.
Grail Ice Blue Sun. I'm gonna bounce that one back.
Well, I think I that's what I was thinking is in Blue Sun. I mean,
Blue
you
Sun
could
would be nice.
pull them back into your hand and keep the ones you want in your hand and put the ones out.
Sure.
Especially with the executive committee, if you res a new one, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
I got the one I want. I'll put this one in my hand.
So there's Merlin, Galahad, Lancelot,
Lancelot,
This is just the-
Excalibur.
and Excalibur. So you're
We
paying.
don't have King Arthur.
Well, King Arthur's Excalibur,
Well, I
It's a
mean,
sword.
well,
but so that's
you need
9.
Guinevere then.
Be 9 influence that you're spending on Grail Ice.
Yeah,
I don't know if Excalibur has. Excalibur might be the one
I
without.
thought it didn't because
Yeah,
I mean
without, yeah.
it's worthless. It's not worthless, but I guess even if it doesn't have influence, it might just be a good ice to have. Period. Matt, put Excalibur in replicating perfection. No, you can't run again.
you gotta say that in an old English way though.
From Kentucky. That would be brutal. Be like, yeah, it's fine. Oh, you're gonna run? Cool. No, can't run anymore. Basically, turn off a server for replicating perfection.
Yeah,
That'd be scary.
pretty fun.
I like it.
So you got the last corp card, I think, Josh.
You do.
Oh, I have a last
Yes.
corp card,
You
really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You did Merlin, of course. All right, so I've got a 2-cost upgrade called Shell Corporation. Neutral. You cannot use Shell Corporation more than once a turn. Click, place 3 credits on Shell Corporation. Click, take 3 credits from Shell Corporation. So this is Shell Katie Jones for Corp.
Yeah, take all credits from Shell.
Or yeah,
Use it
take
on
all
free.
credits. So yeah, I think we've already talked about this. I think in our meta a little bit. You can do some really nasty tricks with traps.
Oh yeah, the biggest thing is that it is an upgrade.
Yeah,
I
you can
mean,
protect it.
Put an asset down, advance it, put a June bug behind it, and res it.
Sure.
And res the June bug. Let the runner say, okay, here's 3 credit or here's 3 advancement tokens on my June bug. Put my Shell Corporation down. Put 3 credits on and say, okay, come get it.
That is a mean plan, but I don't think I'd res it just because then you could start, sneaking things out with it. They're like, oh, he's gonna put a trap on top of Shell Corporation, and no, it's an agenda that you
Sneak
just
out an agenda, yeah.
sure.
But I think in this case, if you want to use it for a moneymaker,
Yeah, if you
I mean,
want to make this for a moneymaker, sure, just put
wanna keep
Cerebral
it safe,
Overrider on
yeah.
there or June Bug.
whatever. I mean, you're gonna get hurt if you come to this server and try to trash this.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they made what is it, Singularity?
Sure.
So now Singularity has some real potential,
Just come destroy the Shell Corporation
Yeah.
and whatever else is in
and
there.
you don't even have to run into it, right? I
Yep.
mean, you just destroy it. So, I mean, maybe they put this card in there just for that, or they had it already planned.
I'm glad it's an upgrade, though. I think it would be kind of lackluster if it was an asset. Because it's just like, well, that's fine, I'll come in and trash it.
Yeah,
You're not
you-
going to want to build up anything on an asset. I think it's good design.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you could throw Ash, Sand, and this into one server, right?
Sure.
You res the Ash, protect the other 2. You have all your money on that. You got your Sand, you res your Sand. I mean, I can see some really cool things happening.
Sure. Put Sand. Yeah, well, I mean, you could put Shell Corporation down, Sand, and then like a Cerebral Overrider, and then when you're ready to score out the big agenda, sure, why not?
Yep.
It's annoying. It'll be fun.
Yep.
It's good design. I like it.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool. So, yeah, I think that's the end of the corp side. So we'll be back in just a second here with the runners. Well, we're back, and we're going to start with the runner side, and we'll let John start off first one.
Hooray! So we have the new console from Anarch. It's 2 costs. It's called Echo Mind. It says your memory limit is equal to the number of cards in your grip. Limit 1 console per player, and it's 3 influence. So this is Origami's friend. I think we all said when Origami came out, they're like, well, there has to be some other card that makes this worthwhile, and we found it. So, yeah, this weekend I tried Echo Mind Noise. Duggar's Echo Mind Noise, and it was fun to play, but the version I made was not competitive really. I think it could be made better.
What was wrong with it, you think?
I couldn't get enough money. Because what it was is so the idea was Echo Mind, Overmind, you know,
so
and then just churn out druggers to druggers up, and then just drop viruses, and then when I had to get in, just have a ton of memory to Echo Mind. It never had enough money. Because you're just churning out viruses every turn. You're spending the 3 you get from ASOPs and stuff like that. Yeah. So it didn't work. And actually, a lot of the times it would be like, all right, I'm going to install Overmind, trashing everything else I have, so that we'd get a million counters on it. So, I don't know. It was fun. It was fun. And I really want to make a Quetzal E3, Echo Mind, Overmind, fun times. Though, actually, honestly, thinking back,
I like it in the rhyme time here, you know.
Thinking back to the noise deck, I think if I had knights in there, so that I could get in other ways other than forcing the Overmind, I'd have done better. But also, it's really hard to manage your hand size as you're playing 3 to 4 viruses in a turn.
Because you got 9 extra cards, so you have potentially 14, right?
Yeah. Well, I Duggar's up to like 17 cards.
Yeah.
And,
oh my god.
And I got to
How
hold
do you
them.
manage that? I mean,
well, that was the other problem I kept running into with Duggars in the noise deck, because they're all viruses you want. So it'd be like Duggars, and I was playing our friend Mike, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that card. I'm gonna throw these ones away. Pick them. Wow, I still have like 15 cards. I'm only allowed to have like 6 or 7.
I have no money.
It's like, hold on. So I really spent about 5 minutes trying to decide which of the cards I would keep, because you want them all. I mean, it's noise. You just want all the viruses.
I've tried it in Wizard and I had the same problem.
Did you try mass install?
I didn't want the card. I mean, mass install would have been a good plan. It would have saved.
So save the clicks?
No, clicks weren't a problem though. It was running.
Money.
It was It was okay to trash a card, and because then I could generally play cash and then play a couple more viruses. But then my hand size is down, and I'm trying to keep all the viruses, and it just.
What about that? What about that event for Shaper where you trash up to 5 cards?
Oh, Code Contract or whatever.
Code Contract, yeah.
Maybe, but then you're killing viruses that you want to play against.
Yeah, that you have to recur somehow.
So you didn't like it in noise? I mean, I think it'd be good in noise.
Yeah.
Against any H anyway.
I messed with it in Wizard and it was entertaining.
Wizard, no.
Yeah. It was entertaining. Nothing like an entertaining card.
I do think Quetzal...
He got some good sweeps off against it.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. He's like, I'm gonna play Echo Mind. I'm like, how many cards you got? 12? I'll take 11 credits. In my Tracy deck, so it was just like, come take an agenda now, because I have 30 credits in mid-seasons. You're never going to get anything again. Never going to get rid of tags again. But no, I want to try it in Quetzal. I think E3, Echo Mind, and Overmind in Quetzal is the way to go.
Just need to have the money now.
Oh, and then you can play a bunch of money. So, I don't know.
I would just wonder how quickly it could set up. That's the problem.
Well, Quetzal's automatically going to break all the... Quetzal turns off their first early breaker. You know,
wraparounds.
Yeah,
I think you could even potentially splash a tinker or a paintbrush in there, just so you have that ability to turn anything to a barrier that you wanted to give you the speed. You know what I mean?
Right, but isn't paintbrush a lot of influence?
I think paintbrush is 3.
Well, that was 3 or 4. I think
it's 3 or 4. I mean, it's a lot, but I mean, I'm just saying, just for speed purposes, to make sure you can keep pressure on the corp while you're setting things up.
Yeah, bad plan, but yeah, that's going to be the next fun deck to try.
No, I mean, I think this opens up a whole slew of
It's
stuff.
cool. I mean, though, you know, if the core ever gets ways to kill off your hands, like effective ways to kill your hand size, it's gonna hurt.
Besides brain damage?
Besides brain damage.
Yeah.
That would really, actually, I guess kind of the anti-brain damage card. That is the cool thing about it, is it saves you from Plascrete and Jinteki.
You don't need to run those.
Yeah. Oracle may probably be nice in there. Way to get extra cards. Mm-hmm. You can play Wild Side.
And get money at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I bring this up every video, but I think wasn't mass install set up to help with Hard at Work? Is that why they brought up mass install out?
I don't think so. I think hard and work was just a bad idea all around. It's expensive.
I know it's expensive. I was just thinking that's why, if it was 3, would you play it though?
Hard at work?
Yeah.
I'd never play hard at work.
Okay.
Never. I mean, wild side. I think you mean wild side, not hard at work.
Hard at work. I mean, hard at work is.
Do you get the credits?
Yeah, every
no, never.
Even with Rachel, because I keep on wanting to.
Rachel is never ever going to see play ever. Until
someone's going to break.
Until breaking
break
news is no longer a card, Rachel will never be played. Because you'll be like, ha, 8 credits, and they'll be like, breaking news. Oh, well, there goes Rachel.
Yeah.
Or you get New Angeles. Put New Angeles in the Protector, right?
That'd be great. Breaking news, make them pay 4 credits.
Mm-hmm. Make them pay 12 for the Rachel. Anyway, okay. Sorry, guys. Off track. So, Echo Mine we like?
Yes, I like Echo Mine. It's great. It's a new way to play the game.
Okay.
And it works fun with origami.
Okay. the
It's
next
you!
one, yeah. It's a Cerberus Cujo H3. And is 3 cost, 0 base strength, 1 memory. It's a program icebreaker killer. 3 influence. It says place 4 counters on Cerberus when it is installed. Hosted power counter, break up to 2 sentry subroutines, 1 credit, plus 1 strength. I know a lot of people really like these. I'm not too crazy about the dog breakers.
You either love them or you hate them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's expensive to break still, you know? I mean, you only get to break certain. I mean, I guess it's a less cool fairy.
It's a less cool fairy. I mean, so you can get through a rotor turret, no problem.
Sure.
Just two.
Yep, just
right.
Costs you a power counter.
Caduceus.
Well, you're gonna pay 3 in a power counter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not awful, but
there's going to be a card, guys, that's going to allow you
make
to
the dogs better.
No, to allow you to put power counters on cards.
Or move them around.
Or move them around,
maybe
or
move
whatever.
them around.
There's got to be a card that will come out to do that, because then they become really, really effective.
Put counters back on Overmind and stuff like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or you make a run to do this, and if you get in, you can put counters,
Be cool if it was a
There's
virus
card.
and got virus counters.
Well, that's why. Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be a way to get power counters. I really do. I just can't believe there's so many cards.
There's a lot of cards that sound like it. That there has to be a way to speed up power counters.
Yeah.
Thanks, you'd scavenge him over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could clone chip them, whatever, and blah blah blah, and you're going to get them every time. But I agree. I mean, it's
They're
risky.
all a lot of influence too.
And Ninja would break 5 strength sentries better than him. Cheaper.
Because Ninja
Well, actually be the exact
3,
same.
yeah, same.
Be the same to break it too. I guess he's better than Ninja on all the others though.
Yeah.
That's fine. I guess hopefully something comes up of it. I mean, is it because you have Mimic, so
Yeah, but that's the problem with Mimic. He's a fixed breaker, so if
you have data suckers.
yeah, but I mean, okay, well, you could use data suckers with him, right?
We could use Mimic and David.
Yeah, well, you could use this and David.
Sure.
I mean, that's what you're going to see in Anarch anyway. I think,
Okay.
I mean, Anarch doesn't have a lot of sentry breakers, right? I mean, they have Mimic, they have
It's like what Anarchs? Sentry Breakers? Mimic.
Mimic is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have other ones, but it's Mimic.
Yeah. So at least this is a good one to put in there, right?
Probably another one that you could
I
pump
don't
up.
think so.
I don't know. There's ones like Force of Nature and.
Well, that's barrier, so.
Well, I mean, what I mean is there's all kinds of breakers that nobody ever remembers because they're awful. So there might be one in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I got the new ID. All right. So Layla Patel. So she is a trained pragmatist. So she's a natural criminal, of course. And it says whenever agenda is scored or stolen, add 1 unres card to HQ. And so it's a regular 45-15 deck, 0 link. I think she's the answer to Blue Sun a little bit. Because if you don't have the cards, if you got to pull up cards that are unresed, I mean, she could potentially hurt any corporation. But the problem is you got to steal an agenda or when it's scored.
on you.
Kind of like an Ian, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think she has the advantage of being able to, if they have one unrezzed ice on R&D and they score an agenda, you're like, cool, I'll bounce the one on R&D and
run crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I grabbed an agenda. Here, you can have some more. You can have that, 2-3D piece of ice back into your hand.
She's annoying with fast advance because I mean, if you score an agenda and you start losing some of your ice when you usually don't have a lot of ice anyway.
Yeah, you're
Some of it goes back in your hand, so it's coming back out next turn.
Well, then
Bounce a Sand. Again, it's all unrezzed cards. So
well, that brings me up to when I ran this weekend, I ran noise kind of differently. I got 2 hemorrhages in my hand and ran like crazy, just getting tokens, and just had. And I was playing near Earth Hub, right? So I just ran crazy and then just started trashing cards out of his hand, and it hurt him pretty effective. It slowed him down pretty effectively because he had nothing to get it. He didn't have any economy, nothing. So I'm just wondering. That's kind of what I was thinking about running is a doppelganger, Rachel, hemorrhage deck.
I mean, I do see the advantage of getting 2 hemorrhages. That definitely could, because you didn't counter on each one, so you'd run twice and then trash 2 cards. That could be really, really good. And that'd be annoying. I'm gonna draw a card. Cool, I'll trash it. I'm gonna draw 3 cards. I guess you draw 2 cards and then it's still on agenda. But
and then with her ability, you kind of throw that deck together with her because the doppelganger's now in faction.
I think hemorrhage is expensive though.
Well, hemorrhage is 3.
Okay.
So you could still build a deck with 3 of those in there.
Sure. I don't know. Her ability seems really, really situational.
I'm just it. But if you can keep the corp out of, and then you throw basically legworks in because they're going to try to keep their agendas probably in hand.
Not if you're double hemorrhaging them. They're not going to have anything in their hand. I think that's the point.
But anyway, I just was thinking that. But I was using it with noise and it was working pretty well. But I've had somebody like this who would benefit maybe from that situation.
I feel like you need to put a second hemorrhage in noise now. So I didn't think about that.
Anyway, I just saw NEH. I'm like, I'm not going to win this the normal way. So I luckily got 2 hemorrhages and I just said, let's try something different. I ended up losing anyway because, I mean, Near Earth Hub is so crazy right now.
Yeah, but if you had 2, I don't know, that'd be brutal. So if you get them before they got the fast advance going, too? Because they couldn't keep Biotic in their hand.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
Huh. Okay.
Sorry, I always give you these ideas like,
no, it's, I like
I'm going to break you.
That's pretty sweet.
Yours.
Is it mine? I'll drop the wrong deck. Yep. Oh, I get the next dog. Cerberus Rex H2. It's a criminal icebreaker. It's a decoder. It costs 3, takes up 1 MU, and has 1 strength and 3 influence. Just like the other dog, it's placed 4 power counters on Cerberus Rex. Break up 2 code gate subroutines, plus 1 strength. Alright, so what's the code gate in criminal?
Well, yeah, Passport, which is the one only for the Centrals, right? And then you have Peacock.
So it's
Peacock's
Gordian Blade.
2.
So it's Gordian Blade. So the criminal code gate break or Yogg
or Zoo.
Sure, or Zoo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, so I guess that's. See, I don't really think.
See, with Peacock, it's better than Peacock.
Yeah. See, I don't think of Anarchs as having a problem breaking sentries. Maybe that's just because they have Mimic and Yogg. Mm-hmm. But I do kind of agree that in a way, criminals do have issues
with codes,
with code gates. I mean,
well, Fem.
Well, sure, you can.
Most of the code gates are one subroutine, so if you have a Fem out, that's how criminals get past code gates.
You can run Passport, and this is a backup.
Sure.
If you really need to get in a remote.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean I think that's where you'll see some of these played, John. Is you could play the central servers and then see these splashed in as your
right. I wonder if they're called Cerberus for another card coming later.
Why Cerberus?
Well, Cerberus was the 3-headed dog.
Yeah, the 3-headed dogs. Well, there's 3.
There's 3 of them. Yeah, but what I mean, I just wonder if they call them that for a reason. Like somebody will be able to use them later, like the dog walker.
Well, interesting because you see a card down here on the Anarch one. It says he
Max X.
Yeah, he only likes to eat live meat. Max X. So who's Max X?
I don't know. But the next quote's for me though. So
but I'm just saying who's Max X. We haven't seen Max X yet.
Right, who's on the other one? No, yeah, there. Yeah. So yeah, Max X is the new one. The one in the Anarch is Edward. So.
But that's Edward Kim. But there's 3, I think.
There's 3.
There's 3. So maybe it's Max X is in the new set.
I don't know. I do want the middle one though, the blackmail giver. That's just gonna be awful. Or the bad pub giver. Because I mean that's. So if something doesn't come out prior to
That's
the
your
deluxe
deck
coming out.
That's your deck.
That's just it's. I mean, blackmail is bad enough.
Yes.
Blackmail
Yeah.
deck is awesome.
It makes your play experience very
But
bad.
if you combo it with the fact that they just start with the BP, then yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's fine. I think it helps. I think this is better than Cujo, just because the fact that there is not a great code gate in faction for criminals.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Alright. I have Zona Sewell shipping, 2 cost criminal resource. It says place 1 credit on it when your turn begins. Click, take all credits from the card. Trash if you're tagged. Kind of a gamble.
Did you read the flavor text? That's funny.
they'll deliver anything to anywhere. Just make sure to request air holes if you're shipping someone important, though.
But you're in space too, so you don't think most of those cargo holes are vacuums anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it could
So
happen.
anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
I mean, it's a decent income, but it's dangerous. The more money you let on it, the better it is. But as soon as your tag gets going,
In noise, it could be really good because you don't make a lot of runs, and it's hard to get tags on noise. So I could
breaking
see.
news.
Well, okay. Breaking news if you're running in NBN, right? Okay, but still by that time, okay, I'll let you spend your breaking news, right?
Yeah.
Well, so think about it this way. Katie Jones is 2 clicks to get 3 money. One to put it on there, one to take it
Yeah.
off. Theoretically, if you played this next turn, because you can use the turn up, you would put a money on it, you would save the click on Katie Jones, and then you do the click from loading her and you take it off. So you would get 2 credits versus 3. On 3 turns, Katie would have 6. This would have 3, 4, 5. It'd be 5 because of the 2 clicks you save from Katie. So, I mean, it's
Not a bad thing.
it's not, yeah, but then again, breaking news and it's over. So you definitely couldn't rely on this as your primary source of income, unless, of course, you have Los Angeles. I mean, maybe it's an Ian card, because Ian's already dodging tags and stuff like that. So
I think it's an easy way to get money. It's low influence. I mean, I could see people who, like you said, don't get Katie or don't have something else in their deck, and they, criminal throw this in.
it's hard to play this over Katie. I mean, really.
Katie you have to,
Because Katie can't die. Well,
Well, Katie, if you get tagged, she could be dead for 2, right?
sure.
Just the same as, she's a little harder to kill.
Right.
I mean, but how many times have I been killed where someone scores a breaking news or put a breaking news down next turn, and then they score the next turn, they have an extra click, bam, you're dead anyway.
But
Yeah.
you wouldn't need the extra click. You could just score a breaking news out of hand to kill us. I don't know. It's cool.
So it's just one influence. I kind of might be interested in this here,
This year. Oh,
Yeah. just for another way to make a little bit of money, or have money sitting there.
I don't know.
Oh, just have it sitting there when you need it, so
Yeah.
it's not in your
No, you-
extra credit.
Yeah, you never want money on hand.
I like it. It's a lot better.
You want to be poor Nasir,
Right?
shoestring Nasir.
I very rarely have more than 5 credits.
All right, I got the next here hardware. It's Soft Micro Drive.
Macro drive.
Macro drive, big drive. It's a hardware. It's 2 cost to install. It gives you 1 recurring credit. It says use this credit to install programs. So I know, and it's only 1 influence.
Sure.
So it's pretty good. I know Phil used it in his Kate deck. I mean, she pays for super cheap. I mean, install for 1.
The quote is fantastic.
Is it?
Cipsoft started by designing games. Eventually, they just redesigned the same game each year, which happens with a lot of games. And Combat Piracy created a dedicated machine to play it. Profits grew tenfold.
Yeah, it is. It's like a little
yeah.
PlayStation thing going on.
But so something kind of funny. So the LLDS stuff is generally underwhelming. This is fairly decent.
It's
And
useful.
it didn't get the LLDS thing. I wonder if that's supposed to be like an inside joke or something. That the LLDS cards are all supposed to be so-so. Well,
Really?
because one of them is just outright bad.
It's
The one
gonna
that
be a
gives
binder credit?
+1 strength, yeah. The one that gives +1
Oh,
strength
when
the
you
turn you
install?
install, yeah.
It's that surprise card. It's for Savoir Faire.
Yeah, for sure. I can't remember what the other one was, but I think it was... no, wasn't the other LLDS card the one that put cards from archives back onto R&D?
Well, one of them was a. Yeah.
Or maybe that wasn't an LLDS.
No, the LD. Well, the other one is the hardware prevents hardware
Okay,
trash.
so maybe that one's not awful, but
With all the hardware trashing cards coming up,
we're just incorporating another company. This could have been an LLDS.
Cybesoft.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of incorporation, there's big news today.
Yeah, FFG and
Asmodee.
Asmodee?
Asmodee. Asmodee.
Whatever.
Asmodee. Depends if you're French, if you're not French.
Yeah, so that was cool. They're basically going to stay separate. It sounds like they're going to stay mostly separate companies and just abuse each other's distribution.
Yeah, which is very good for both companies.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some more. I don't know if Asmodee really releases any like European-only games. You know, like what was the one game that came out in Europe that we couldn't get here? It was Luchador, whatever. Silly game, but yeah. Maybe I'm sure it'll make things better. Make Netrunner grow for sure, since they have good distributors and stuff like that.
Well, I think it helps FFG for sure get into the European market because it's so tough to do stuff in that area. Anyway, just news. Speaking of,
no, it was cool. It was interesting to read.
All right,
Is this one mine?
this is yours,
Oh, I got the other dog. Okay.
and then we'll finish up with Josh.
So it's Shaper program, cost 4, 3 strength, 1 MU, Cerberus Lady, H1, program Icebreaker Fractor, place 4 power counters on Cerberus, whatever, hosted power counter break up to 2 barrier subroutines, pay 1, plus 1 strength, 3 influence. Its bites are definitely worse than its bark.
Chaos is so funny. She's such a young kid.
So it's obviously they had to make it a little better than Corroder, or everyone would just be like, "Why aren't we playing Corroder?"
It's 3 strength, man. You can't bark at that.
No, and barriers are usually higher. I mean, it breaks Hadrian's for 4 instead of 7. Again, there is not a strong, other than Dagger. No, Dagger Sentry. There is just not a strong barrier breaker. You can put it in the sea, take out Black Cat.
Was it Inti? Inti is one of them.
Inti, the wraparound
And then you got,
killer.
and then you've got battering ram. That's in faction.
Yeah.
Battering ram's
Yeah,
the
there's
big
2
one.
MU. So I don't know.
Battering
it
ram's
fills,
really
I guess
good.
each of the dogs is supposed to fill the hole in the faction, but
Yeah. I mean, we're their weakest.
sure. I agree though. If you can put power counters back on stuff, it might get better.
I think you're
But-
going to see that.
But then I guess, would you rather just put power counters back on Overmind? Can we run like Overmind Data Sucker or something?
But if you have a 3 strength breaker, I think I put this on here. But, you know,
We play Overmind and then the in-faction breaker. Yeah, sure. I can see that. Okay.
Yep. So you got the last card.
Last
you got
card. Neutral resource. 1 influence cost. Utopia shard. 7 costs. It says whenever you make a successful run on HQ, instead of accessing cards, you may install Utopia shard. Pyramid grip, ignoring all costs. Trash. Corp discards 2 cards from HQ at random. Limit 1 per deck. It's pretty good against especially fast advance. It's usually sitting on agendas. If you don't mind gambling a bit since it is at random.
hemorrhage.
Mike
yeah,
did it
it
to
goes
me.
well with your hemorrhage.
Mike did it to me.
Did
I
he?
had 5 in my hand, and the 1 Beal that was in there he took. It was bad. And it was like the first
what
turn
did
I
he
had Beal.
toss 2 and then like legworky or something?
No, the 2 he tossed were the Beal. Was the Beal and something else. It was just like, really, he pulled the Beal out. That's. And of course he ran it immediately after because I had no Jackson. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that was. I was like, all right, I'm gonna score. Do Beal, score it. No, I'm gonna Utopia shard.
I think I'm gonna try to build like a little bleed you to death deck, and you're gonna have no cards in your hand,
2 hemorrhages would definitely.
and then throw that in there.
Well, I mean, because in the turn they only draw 1 card, then you're building hemorrhage tokens at that point, so you can use your clicks for other things. And if they're like, well, white virus counters, you're like, okay, I'll run it twice and trash that card in your hand.
Yep. Or legwork you or whatever, you know.
Sure.
Or I'll throw, whatever. I think you could do that out of Kinney.
Nah, I think you still want noise. But maybe. Yeah, I guess Kenny's just gonna plan to run a lot of different places.
Just run. I mean, he's got the ability to get the extra runs and.
Well, with noise though, you only have to pin down 1 server. You could pin down archives, or just R&D. You're like, I can get an R&D all day and kill your hand. So it's not a bad plan. It's not a bad plan.
Yep. Anyway, all right. So we'll start it out as we normally do. The most functional card out of the pack. I think this is a really good pack overall. I think this really kind of ties a lot of the stuff together that we've seen so far. But we'll start with Josh. What's your most fun card or functional card?
Functional card. I think functional and fun is different.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of put that as, you know.
I really like hostile infrastructure.
Okay. John?
Oh, I think functional as in powerful would be.
Well, to me that's meta. See, that's why functional is fun.
Sure.
You want to make a deck around kind of.
Oh, then hostile takeover for sure. That's just gonna be so.
Which one?
Fun. Hostile takeover. I agree with Josh. Just
Okay.
Killing.
Infrastructure.
Oh, hostile infrastructure.
So what did I say? Takeover.
Yeah, takeover. That's the way.
Hostile takeover is still a good time. Yeah. Hostile infrastructure is just fantastic. It's like no. Oh, trash that. Okay. You trash that too. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you're a wizard. Come over and trash things.
All right. Well, I think I said it before. I think hostile infrastructure is good too. I think we're all in agreement. I think that's the most fun card you're going to see in the pack.
Hostile infrastructure with architect.
Yeah. All right. So. Oh.
That's pretty.
Oh. That's painful. Just put it back. I mean, Sundews.
Yeah,
Sundews.
Yeah, Sundew is possible.
Sundews. You want to trash it again? And you have. What would be even funnier is you have the hostile infrastructure just completely iced up, so it's like.
So they have to just. Yeah, that's mean. And in replicating perfection too, where they have to waste a click.
Yes.
What was the other card we were talking about with?
Shellcorp?
No, Excalibur.
Oh, Excalibur.
Sundew. Or
Yeah.
putting the Excalibur down with.
Yeah. Okay.
That's scary.
All right, so we're all in agreement. So hostile infrastructure, we all kind of want to build a deck around, have some fun with that. I think you're going to see that splash a lot, though. I think it's going to be a really solid card across the board. Okay.
It's a couple influence, but.
So let's do the best art.
Oh, the best art.
Any takers?
The dogs are cool. Do they connect at all?
No, I was trying to look at that too. I mean, the green one,
Well, I mean, if you look at it, the one green one is looking to the
Yeah.
right, the blue one is sort of looking straight ahead,
Yeah.
and the red one is
so
off
it's
the
sitting in the
side.
middle.
Yeah, and they're all made by the same person.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, but the staff's not
The
bad.
blue one just looks so sad. I mean, the other ones are like really nasty, and the blue one's like kind of looks like a puppy dog, It's true, man. I'll throw it out. My favorite art is for sure Gemini. I just like that card. I think it's just really cool with the.
Looks like Gemini belongs at Eliza's toy box.
Yeah, but but the star formation, the whole 9 yards. I think it's just really cool. It's really well done. What's yours?
Merlin's pretty neat.
He's on the pack, man. I mean, that's why they put him there. I mean, he is definitely very good art. I mean, all those the same artists again. They did to keep harmony. The same artist did the Galahad and the Lancelot. So okay.
I like Snatch and Grab. I wonder if that's somebody that they got. I mean, who do they have with the bag over their head?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of people who wear a vest and a white shirt.
Yeah, good. Thomas.
Well, no, it'd be a runner.
Actually, this quote from Snatch and Grab is actually from their the trilogy that they put out with Drake, the first 3 books. So I mean the tattoo of the Strange Beast. It's a Chimera.
Gotcha.
So
I just wonder if that's I don't know.
yep, it's cool. All right, so best art. So you're saying Merlin.
I like Snatch and Grab.
Snatch and Grab, and I've got Gemini. Last one, meta changing. Any cards in here that are meta changing? John.
Well, the Daily Business Show I think just makes any H worse.
Worse. Not better.
It's already bad to play against. It's just like, yeah. I mean, before any H and Fast Track, playing against NBN was always like, man, I hope they don't score an Astro Script. Be ruin my day. I gotta make sure I gotta get their Sands. Now it's just like. Now I gotta guess which one of the 7 cards is the Sand. And, they're not gonna score Astro out of their hand, they're actually gonna score it out of their deck. And this is gonna make sure they draw, Biotic, Fast Track, Sand. Astro's just like, really? Wow. And then they can do it next turn if you don't go trash the Sand.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't put out a card yet that every time a corp draws a card, in addition to their mandatory, that the runner gets one. Like
Gorman Drip does. It gives you $1 every
no,
time
because
you
you can't do it on any H.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah, they have to actually spend the click. to
Yeah,
draw.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, so I mean, I'm surprised that card hasn't hit the meta because you have to have something like that against NEH. I mean, the closest thing they've got is the Astrolab, which does help a little bit, but still, Astrolab only prevents the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, NEH swept every game we had this weekend.
I believe it. I mean,
I don't think it dropped one game.
Yeah, that's how it works.
yeah.
I mean, which is, I mean, out of what did we have? 14?
13.
13. Okay, 13. So we had,
But I don't know how many people were playing NEH. 2.
and I think they were.
Nick had to lose something with his NEH deck. Or Nick, I think, lost both games one time.
One time.
So.
Okay, so he'll
I
drop.
mean, yeah, NEH is just it's I don't know, it's unfun at the moment.
It's unfun.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you look at a deck and you know how the influence is spent, it's getting boring.
Well, yeah, it's one of two guesses. Is it 12 into
See,
biotic?
I've never built my deck, so I mean, I never built the NEH, so you know what it
There's
is.
probably 2 or 3 Elis. There's
Yep.
probably 3
Biotics.
Biotics.
So 12 and
Though I don't know, now it probably is going to be 3 biotics and 2 architects.
yeah, 2 Architects.
yeah.
And then maybe some sort of combination between Elis and Architects.
Yeah.
Is that
Architect's worse than
is
Eli
that bad?
at this point. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I haven't built my deck anyway. All right. So the last and so what's your meta change?
Same thing, daily business show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just...
And I've seen it
okay.
in action, so yeah, it's irritating. It's
So,
hard to work
so
around.
you think it's going to be in? I think I'm going to. Of course, I'm always different. I'm going to go with Shell Corp. I think it's going to be meta changing. I mean, I think you can. This gives you a corporation. You don't have to run potentially any asset generating type economy.
Oh, I think you still have to. Because if the corp makes you poor, if the runner makes, poor more than once, you can't rely on this every turn.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could have several of them.
Yeah. I mean, you
I'm
have.
going to spend my 3 clicks to add three credits.
Yeah.
to 3
It's
different
not. It's
shell
not
corporations.
unique, right?
You could put them all on the same server, I guess.
Yeah. It's not unique.
Yeah.
I'm telling. I think there's some shenanigans you can play with that. I think with the traps.
It'd be fun, yeah.
I would love to double advance a June bug or triple advance a June bug. Next turn, put a there, put a Shell Corp, res it, put 3 on it, and say, "Come get it."
I wouldn't res it. I'd still let them come and get it. Because if they come and get it, they die. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I still think it would be funny though, just to say,
Just the
okay,
intimidation factor. It's there.
Just put an
there-
agenda there once, and then they'll have to run
Yeah.
everything every time when you put traps down.
Yep.
Oh, that could be funny.
Yep. Anyway, I think so. That's my meta changing. So overall, guys, what do you think?
That's a great pack.
Very
Lots
good
of good stuff. New fun things. And I think the dogs are something to look forward to in the future. Zona Soul will probably find some places with just criminal. Leela, I don't know. I think her ability is just a little too situational for me. Makes it underwhelming.
Well, you said that about Ian too, though.
Yeah, Ian is still
You said
underwhelming.
Ian was like terrible, and I remember.
Ian was terrible. He's still, I don't know. Ian, I don't like the game Ian plays.
Yeah.
I think Ian gets crushed by NEH though.
Oh, well, anyone gets crushed by any. Noise has some chance at it if you can
get lucky.
If you can get lucky. I mean, if you get lucky and you can get the cards you want off their deck, that's the only way Noise has a shot. He's got the best chance, I think. We've tried to build wizard decks around that, and you just can't do it.
I haven't really messed with Wizard. I'm waiting for the big box.
The big box. Yeah, that would be fun.
I mean, have you built anything you think
They could fight NEH.
that's really going to be consistent against EDH?
I don't know. I think you could maybe try to do some Chicana source shenanigans.
Yeah, put the source out and then put Chicana in.
But the problem is, they're just like wall white virus counters. Run R&D 3 times. If you can't run R&D 3 times to restock Chicana, then they're probably going to score it. Even then, they don't have to. It's like, oh, it takes an extra one to res. Okay, I'll biotic into the San to score it.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have to keep them poor, so you got to do multiple layers. Yeah, it's tough. It's just tough. All right. Well, we got one more pack coming out before the end of the cycle. Any words? Any thoughts on the other big news between our last one and this one was rotation? Any thoughts on rotation?
I think rotation's fine. It's still just a ridiculous number of cards. My only actual thought about rotation was, well, Astro Script and Sansan will never ever go away. That's the corner that they have.
Neither will Corroder, though.
Sure. Oh, the core set is full of just wonderful cards that will never go away, which is great. And, I don't know. Fast Advance has just been annoying lately. I mean, even my NBN Tracer deck was all, yes, it's gonna be Tracer Ice, and I'm gonna trace it. And Psycho. There were a lot of games that were just like, well, I'm gonna sneak out an Astro, into a Veal, into Breaking News. So I beat you with Fast Advance.
What do you think about
I
rotation?
don't have a problem with it. Plus, it's 2017. You don't need to worry about it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of gameplay. To be
Yeah.
made.
Yeah, they did it a good way. They make your money worth it. I mean, because once rotation is there, you're paying $15 to play with cards for 2 years. I think it was maybe a year.
And then
Oh,
you
well,
can
yeah,
still
it's
play.
two.
It's an entire. Well, no, it's an entire year, isn't it?
No, it's 2. It's almost 2, isn't it? By the
Well,
time-
it's 12 packs.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you have to go through.
Or no,
a
it's
bunch.
no,
It's
'cause
8 packs, and then
the
you lose 2.
When you hit the 8, you lose 2.
So you've
So
got
that one comes out. You have to have 11 more come out with that one, and then another. No, then another one. Yeah, so 12 packs. Every 12 packs, you lose some. It's not bad. I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
12 packs worth of play is just fine with me.
Yeah. And I think, there's been so many good comments, but I think one guy said either you're going to have power creep, you're going to have cards that get broken because of other cards coming out, or you can have rotation. You can pick 2 out of those 3, or or your game dies eventually. I mean, I thought that was one of the best,
Yeah. And it's in
explanations I've read.
The game is still much more cheaper than any other collectible game, so it works out.
Yep, it's good.
I like it.
All right, well, thanks a lot for joining the No Agendas team. I'm Bob,
I'm John.
Josh?
and we'll see you next time.